Hello, I'm Trista Keaton, and you're watching The Source. Today's show is featuring a piece on the Roy Library opening and the DePauw Women's Conference game. DePauw University's Roy O. West Library reopened in time for spring semester following an 18-month renovation and expansion project. The library now features a 2-story reading room with a new entrance, expanded seating at Cafe Roy, relocated archives and special collections to the lower level. The music library is currently open for use and will remain the main service location with interlibrary loan materials, as well as new book arrivals placed on hold shelf for pickup. The renovation includes improved facilities such as digital production, visualization labs, collaborative study, and event spaces, plus a garden study area and a signature 2-story reading room. We asked Dean of Libraries, Brooke Cox, on how the students were reacting to the changes.
Students are thrilled. I've seen lots of elation. Speaking with seniors who did know Roy previously in their one semester before it shut down with COVID, seeing them come back and recognizing their favorite study spaces that have been transformed. But then even students who didn't have a main library to study in, immediately gravitating to spaces, climbing into study nooks kind of throughout the space was really fun to watch.
I think it's great. I'm a junior, so I spent 2.5 years with no library, and that was lame. And now that I've got a library, I'm like, man, I should have been studying more. It's a great time. There's all these study study rooms. You can run out with friends, man. It's a good time. Super pumped. Go Roy.
I think it's really nice. I really like the structure and having this my senior year especially, being able to have a space that's designated to studying rather than at my house. I think it's really pretty. There's still a lot more to be developed, hopefully. But I think right now it's a pretty good base for the future of DePauw.
I really like the new Roy. It really makes me feel like a student again. I'm getting all of my academic endeavors in line. And obviously Cafe Roy is a great plus.
In more news, DePauw women's basketball overcame a slow first-half start to score a 71-54 victory over Hiram in the quarterfinals of the North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. WGRE's radio announcers Gray Collins and Chris Malby talked about DePauw's performance in the first half.
Yeah, a rough start for DePauw from the beginning. They got out-rebounded, especially on the offensive boards by Hiram. However, the two leading scorers in this first half, Ava Hassel and Maya Shannon, who have been doing it good all season, able to bring DePauw into the half with some momentum, so hopefully they can carry it into the second half.
Especially looking at the statistics and the fact that we are 25-0 against them, for them to hold the lead for a majority of the first half, let alone first quarter, was really shocking. And I think they shocked the Tigers as well because we weren't shooting as well, we weren't rebounding as well, and I don't think they were fully prepped for Hiram to come out and just go at them like they did. But I think they managed to set their feet after taking that first punch and have really turned things around.
The second half saw DePauw pick up their rebounding and scoring with Ava Hassel's season-high 27 points, along with Maya Shannon 23 points, which helped push the Tigers to the win. We talked to both players for their assessment of the game and their performances.
I think that was a hard-fought game. Going into the tournament, it gives us good practice going into playing two tough teams over the weekend. We got a lot still to improve on. We got 3 days to do that, so I'm looking forward to the work we put in this week after a game like that. It just shows that we haven't reached our peak yet, and I'm excited to see what that is. And obviously, it's nice when you're hitting shots, and that's how it was for me tonight.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game from the beginning. They always come in. They always play us tough. They had us on the ropes at halftime both of the times we played them already this year. They're a tough team. They got a lot of fight. A lot of kudos to them and their coaches. That was a battle. It was an aggressive game, and it ended up being a lot of fun.
DePauw will now face Ohio Wesleyan in the semifinals this Friday at 7 p.m. here at DePauw. Go Tigers. We're now introducing a new segment to The Source, The War Room, featuring PAC student and researcher Jake Wood.
Thanks, Trista. I'm Jake Wood, and this is The War Room, a segment including all things international affairs. U.S. President Joe Biden made a surprise visit to the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv on Monday. After a 10-hour train trip from Poland, Biden met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to reiterate U.S. commitment to the defense of Ukraine. Biden also promised an additional $500 million in military aid to the country, which is to include artillery ammunition and Javelin missiles. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, launched a year ago, has largely lost momentum, with Ukrainian forces having recaptured several regions occupied by Russia in counteroffensives last year. Large-scale international support for Ukraine has enabled the country to successfully resist Russian attempts to annex the country. In other news, Turkey has suffered from earthquake aftershocks following the devastating Kahramanmaraş earthquake that affected parts of southern Turkey and northern Syria 2 weeks ago. 2 aftershock quakes hit the Turkish city of Hatay on Monday, killing 3 people and injuring over 200. Hatay had already suffered as a result of the initial earthquake, and the quake's aftershocks are continuing to affect the region and relief efforts. Nearly 50,000 people have reportedly died as a result of the earthquake and its aftershocks, and the damage caused is estimated to cost over $80 billion US. Another thing worth noting is the chief of a rebel outfit in India's northeastern region passed away on February 10th as a result of a brain tumor. Aurangzeb Chawarin led the People's Liberation Army of Manipur since the 1990s and had been one of India's most wanted militants in the restive northeastern state of Manipur. The PLA, other militant outfits, and civilian supporters paid tribute to the deceased rebel commander through a number of ceremonies organized over the past week. Chawarin's death comes several days after the killing of Uday Assam, an important commander of the United Liberation Front of Assam Independent, another militant outfit that the PLA has historically been close with. The deaths of Assam and Chawarin are a major victory for Indian security forces in their fight against separatist insurgents in the region, and the fate of the PLA following Chawarin's passing remains to be seen. This has been The War Room, a segment of The Source. Thank you for watching, and be sure to keep up with us on all social media platforms to stay updated on the real news.